And that's the essence of what this organisation is about. It's about real people that have had real life experiences and have real solutions. Because the last thing a 15-year-old girl wants to do when she's just been raped is to talk to a 65-year-old man who has got no idea what it's all about. What she wants to talk to is a girl that's also been raped, that's learned how to deal with the impact and the negative effects of being raped. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Would you agree? Whatever your hole is, whatever life experiences you've been through, isn't it the right thing for you to be able to talk to someone else that's been there and done that, but is no longer suffering the effects of what that did to them? That's what our organisation is about. Because we discovered through our combined experiences, these ladies that are in this room with us here, that all of them had suffered one thing or another through life, and we had to find a way to help other people to get through that. So we devised this system that we now call the Foundation for Living. And it's all about learning to master the negative effects of life upon yourself. It's about learning to take what it is that's happened to you and taking it from a tragedy into an experience and a challenge that you've overcome and mastered. Because if you're able to talk to that girl who's in that place of pain and explain to her what you went through and how you got through it and how now you're free from it, then you're learning to master the negative effects of life, and only then can you start to pass on the experience of what life really has to offer. Because this world is a beautiful planet, isn't it? It is, isn't it? Just look out there, it's a beautiful planet for most of us, depending on the glasses we're wearing on the day, I guess. But the truth of it is a wonderful planet. What's shit about it are the people who walk around on it. That's what's shit about it. Because we're all out there judging and having opinions and gossiping and negging everybody else and pulling everyone else to pieces instead of looking at our true selves. So our system that we've devised is about looking at our true selves. It's taking ourselves apart and looking at the foundations of what made us as we are as human beings. The time-old question of life is, why am I here? Isn't it? Isn't that? Why do you think you're here? Why do you think you're on this earth? You know what it is? Go on.
Play your part.
To play a part. I'd agree with that entirely. I think that's a good philosophy. We all have a part to play in something. Do you know what yours is?
Yeah.
Good. What I believe, and I think Stephen Hawking is quite right in this, is that the universe is constantly expanding, isn't it? That's what they say. The universe is constantly getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Well, we are just microcosms of that universe. We are made of the same substance as the stars, the same carbon, the same minerals, the same H2O. We're all made of the same component parts. And the universe is constantly expanding. And therefore, for us to be a part of this universe, we have to be constantly expanding. So I believe that our journey is to hear and grow. To be here, to learn and grow. That's what our job is. And as we learn and grow, to play our part in the learning and growing of everybody else. And I've seen you earlier on today healing out there in that hole, which is playing your part of helping other people to grow and become free of what it is that's burdening them. Is that true for you?
Yeah, in a way. Yeah.
In a way. So I believe that in order for us to grow, lots of people, and I did this myself for a long, long time. My daughter got killed a week before she was 21 years old. It made me sit down and I thought, what's this all about? What's going on here? I don't get this. What I realised is that I had to learn and grow. And everything that had happened to me, instead of it being a terrible thing, I had to turn it into opportunity. What did I have to learn from all of those experiences? And I decided at that point to start doing it. What I realised is that I had the big car, I had 8 cars on the drive, I could only drive one at a time. I was flying all over the world in my ego with my briefcase and being Billy Big Balls, how clever am I? Loads of money, big farmhouse, lots of land, all of those things I had. But the one thing I didn't have was the substance that we're all in search of, I believe, and that's love. I believe we're all in search of love. And I then extended that to a few of the parts that I needed. I needed peace. That's inner peace, to be at peace in my own skin, to be able to walk anywhere, to talk anywhere, to be who I really am and be happy with it. I realised that through my life I'd started to become a social chameleon. You know what a chameleon is? It changed, yeah? That I would walk into one place and I could talk to one group about one thing, but God help me if someone came from one of the other groups in there and saw what I was talking about, because I couldn't cope with that, because I changed myself into what I thought I needed to be for different people. So I was uncomfortable in my own skin, so I needed to find inner peace. The second thing I had to find was freedom. Now I thought freedom came with money. That's why I chased the dollar throughout my life, because my parents never had any, and I thought, well, I'm not going to be skint when I get older. So I chased the world and I chased the dollar for years and years and years till I was 46, and I had loads of money. But I didn't have freedom. I was lacking that freedom to be able to be who I really was, to have that inner peace and actually be the truth of who I am, because I created a facade, an image of who I thought I needed to be for the world. When I was a kid, there was 8 of us in our family, children. 11 we started with, and 3 of them never made it. And then my parents, so there was 10 of us all told. And the pillar of my society was the co-op insurance man, who used to come round the door on a Saturday morning. And he'd knock on the door, and my mother would grab all of us kids and hide us all behind the settee, because she never had the threepence to pay the insurance on that particular Saturday. I remember sending my oldest brother out to the front door. She said, go and tell him I'm out. Because he kept knocking, because Don knew the score, you know. Smart suit, brogue shoes. Do you remember the old carpet bag? He had the carpet bag full of his money and his insurance documents and all the rest of it. Big, big, tall guy he was to me, but then I was only that big, so he could have been 5'2" and I wouldn't have known, but he seemed tall. So my oldest brother goes out to the door and opens the front door and he goes, hello Jimmy, you alright? Is your mother in? And Jimmy says, no, she's not in. And he goes, okay, well what time will she be back, Jimmy? And Jimmy said, hang on a minute, Mum, what time will you be back? Which blew the thing for Mum. But Don was the pillar of my society because he was smart. He had the suit on, he looked the part. So I modelled my life on Don. Strange as it was, I was only a little toddler at the time, but I used to look at him and think, that's the sort of character I want to be. So when I was 25, I looked like Don. I had more hair in him, but I looked like Don. I had the same clothes as Don had. I had the same briefcase as Don had. And I walked around being Don. The thing I lacked was what made Don work, because it didn't have all the workings behind it. I looked like him, but I couldn't be him because I didn't have all the words. There's another saying that I've sort of coined really, and it's very easy to steal the words of someone's song, but it